the position to understand, right? So what is the meaning of exception handling? Defining alternative way to continue rest of the program normally is the concept of what? Exception handling. Okay, have a look once about this one, sir. Here just the exception handling doesn't mean repairing an exception. We have to define alternative way to continue rest of the program normally. Okay, like this way of defining alternative is nothing but exception handling. Are you in the position to understand, right? Okay, just observe. Assume that my programming requirement, I have to read the data from London file. I have to read the data from London file. At runtime, if a London file is not available, then file not found error, stop the program, which is abnormal termination. Remember this one, because you are not handling, you are not handling exception, file not found error, immediately stop the program. But now I want to provide local file to continue rest of the program normally. So defining this alternative is nothing but what? Exception handling. Just observe carefully, sir. My requirement is read the data from remote file. Read the data from remote file locating at London. Locating at London. Okay, like this is my code, sir. So if I'm writing only up to this code, then at runtime, if London file is not available, then I will get file not found error, the program will be stopped, which is never be recommended, sir. What I want to take here is, so I will take this code inside a try block. Remember, very important, sir. I will write this code inside a try block. So while executing this code, if file not found error occurred, except file not found error, okay, except file not found error came. If file not found error came, use a local file and continue. Use a local file and continue rest of the program normally. And continue rest of the program normally. Are you getting? So if file not found error came, use a local file and continue rest of the program normally. Okay, this thing is by default considered exception handling. So we are defining alternative way. If in the main flow, sir, I can use the word, this is the main code, sir. This is the main flow. This is alternative code, sir. So in the main flow, if there is no problem at all, then this alternative is not going to execute. In the main flow, if there is a problem, immediately alternative code is going to execute and the remaining code by default will be continued normally. Are you getting? Is it graceful termination or not? Yes, it is the normal termination, graceful termination, even exception got raised, even error got raised, no problem at all. Our code in a position to handle and continue rest of the program normally. This way of handling an exception, this way of defining alternative is nothing but exception handling. Remember this one, sir. So what is the meaning of exception handling? Exception handling means defining alternative way. If something goes wrong, maybe a chance, man, don't expect everything goes fine as per your requirement. At runtime, something goes wrong, we should have alternative to continue rest of the program normally, right? Okay, suppose everyone, sir, I want to marry Katrina Kaif. Okay, this is my main flow. I want to marry Katrina Kaif, but Katrina Kaif may not interest on me. Then I should have some alternative to continue my rest of the program or not? Yes, obviously, which is nothing but what? Exception handling. Remember this. So defining alternative way to continue rest of the program. So in our day-to-day life, every time we are using this concept, but unfortunately we don't know. It is called exception handling, sir. Sir, I want to go to the office. First I will check for bus. Bus is not available. I will check for auto. Auto is not available. Then I will ask my friend lift. Then I may go to the office. Defining, always you are searching for alternative, which is nothing but exception handling. You are going for the movie. So you are ready. Just release the movie. You are trying for the ticket. ticket. If you are not getting the ticket for that movie, then immediately you can check for alternative theater or otherwise alternative movie. Are you getting? But you won't come back to the room. You won't come back to the house. So you will go for alternative theater or alternative movie, and then happily after completing the program you will come to your house. So the way of defining alternative to continue rest of the program normally, which is nothing but what? Exception handling. Are you in the position to understand, friends? Okay, that's all. So what is an exception? What is the purpose of exception handling? What is the meaning of exception handling? These are three things you should be aware. Unwanted, unexpected event that disturbs the normal flow of the program is called exception. Okay, then the main purpose of exception handling, graceful termination of the program. What is the meaning of exception handling? Defining alternative way to continue rest of the program. Sir, here I use two keywords. What is the first one? Try. Second ones are except. These two are keywords for exception handling. What is the purpose? Which code I have to take inside try block? Which code I have to take inside except block? I will explain in detail in the next videos. Up to this, any doubt? Clear, right? Hi friends, in the last videos we covered very clearly the basic introduction to exceptions, right? What is exception? What is the meaning of exception handling? How to handle exceptions, right? Now the next topic what I have to discuss, default exception handling in Python. Sir, observe, default exception handling in Python. Sir, if you are not handling an exception, if an exception got raised, by default what will happen? That part we have to aware. Sir, best example, let me go for a small example so that you will get much clarity, sir. Sir, here I am taking print of hello, like this I am taking print of hello. Next print of 10 by 0 I am taking. Next print of hi, like this I am taking this code, sir. Assume that. Sir, have you observed? If I execute this code, immediately error we are going to get because of 10 by 0. Yes, you know that because of 10 by 0 an error will occur, sir. Sir, now the important point. So whenever an exception got raised, by default what will happen? Sir, in this example, so which exception will be raised? Okay, 0 division error will be raised. Correct, right? 0 division error, exception got raised. Every exception in Python is a class. Remember this one, sir. Every exception in Python is a class. That's why 0 division error is a class, sir. 0 division error is a class. Whenever an exception raised, immediately Python virtual machine will create an object for the corresponding class. Okay, now observe this one. 0 division error exception class object will be created by Python virtual machine. Remember, so in our Python code, anywhere if an exception raised, first step, sir, so Python virtual machine will create an object for the corresponding exception class. So it is a 0 division error class object. 0 division error is our exception class. Okay, like an object got created. Next, immediately Python virtual machine will check, is there any handling code is available or not? Okay, any handling code, is it available or not? If handling code is available, then handling code will be executed and the rest of the program will be continued normally. Remember this one, sir. So after creating this exception object, immediately Python virtual machine will check, is there any handling code or not? If handling code is available, so Python virtual machine will execute that handling code and the rest of the code will be continued normally. Okay, but I'm not having any handling code. If you are not having any handling code, immediately the program will be terminated. Yes, there only at the second line only the program will be terminated and the printed exception information to the console. Remember this one, sir. The program will be terminated there and the printed exception information to the console, and the rest of the program won't be executed. Remember this one, sir. Sir, this is abnormal termination. Are you getting? This one is what? Abnormal termination. Okay. So if an exception got raised, Python virtual machine will create an object related to exception class and check for handling code. If a handling code is available, it will handling code will be executed and the rest of the code will be continued normally. Okay. If a handling code is not available, the program will be terminated there only. Rest of the code is not going to execute. Print exception information to the console, the program will be terminated abnormally. What is this termination, sir? Is it normal termination or abnormal termination? Abnormal termination. Is it graceful termination or non-graceful termination? Non-graceful termination. Suppose here you open one database connection. Assume that you open one database connection. While reading data, the problem came. So now this is the closing database connection. So no one is going to close my DB connection, obviously. So it's a bigger problem. That's why abnormal termination, non-graceful termination, we don't want. Okay. To prevent this abnormal termination, we require to go for what? Exception handling by using try and except blocks. Sir, how you can use that part I will take care. Don't worry, sir. Up to this is the clear for all of it. Have a look once, sir. Sir, now default exception handling in Python. Just observe carefully, sir. Let me execute this code. Here, if I can take print of hello, I'm taking. Print of hello, I'm taking. Print of 10 by 0, I'm taking. And print hi, I'm taking, sir. That's all. Print of hello, print of 10 by 0, print of hi, like this I'm taking, sir. Now let me execute this code. Here observe. So the first line will be executed properly. So second line there is a problem is coming. Immediately Python virtual machine will create exception object. Now it will check for handling code. Handling code is not available. The program will be terminated at second line and printed exception information to the console. Rest of the code is not going to be executed. Remember this one, sir. Sir, observe carefully. If I execute this code, what is the answer, sir? Hello printed and the exception information will be printed to the console. Rest of the code is not executed. Sir, you want to see hi in the console. Have you observed, right? You want to see hi in the console because the rest of the code is not executed, sir. Sir, now my question is, who is the responsible to print this information? Okay, Python virtual machine, Python interpreter is the responsible to print this information. Is it normal termination or abnormal termination? It is abnormal termination. Never recommended. Is it clear for all of you, right? So this is default exception handling in Python. By default, what will happen? Nothing. Program will be terminated abnormally. Print exception information to the console. Clear, right? Just have a look once about this theory, sir. Whatever we have. Okay, sir, here just observe that default exception handling in Python. Sir, observe, every exception in Python is an object. For every exception type, the corresponding class is available. Clear. Next, whenever an exception occurs, PVM will create the corresponding exception object and will check for handling code. If handling code is available, then it will be executed and the rest of the program will be executed normally. Okay, if handling code is not available, then PVM will terminate program abnormally and print corresponding exception information to the console. Rest of the program won't be executed. Observe, it is a normal termination, it is abnormal termination because handling code is not available. Okay, to prevent this abnormal termination, we should handle exceptions explicitly, of course, by using what? Try except blocks. So, is it clear for all of you, right? What is the default exception handling in Python? Any doubt? Hi friends, in the last video we covered about default exception handling in Python. Sir, now the next thing what I have to discuss, Python's exception hierarchy. Just a basic idea. Sir, what are various exception classes? At least a few. What is the relation between these? Which is the parent class? Which is the child class? Like you people should have clarity, sir. Sir, I told already, all exceptions in Python, every exception in Python is an object, corresponding class is available. Means exception classes are there, sir. So all exception classes in Python are child classes of base exception. Remember this one. All are child classes of base exception. Every exception, if you consider, sir, it should be child class of base exception. That's why this base exception class is considered root class for Python exception hierarchy. Remember this one, sir? Okay, like sir, for this there are multiple child classes are there, friends. One child class is exception. Okay, one child class is exception. Remember, it is the child class of base exception. Okay, one child class is the exception. Similar to exception, okay, system exit, it is another child class. Next, do you know generator exit, it is another child class. Next, keyboard interrupt, it is another child class. While executing the program, whenever you are going to press Control C, immediately keyboard interrupt. Okay, like these are various child classes of base exception. Are you in the position to understand, right? So base exception is the parent for all exception classes in Python. For that exception, system exit, generator exit, keyboard interrupt, like these are the child classes, right? Sir, next, for this exception, multiple child classes are possible, man. Okay, so one is arithmetic error. Are you getting? One is arithmetic error like this, right? So for this arithmetic error, do you know, sir, child class zero division error is the child class. But we saw several times zero division error is the child class of arithmetic error, which is the child class of exception, which is the child class of base exception. Complete hierarchy, at least up to certain commonly used exceptions, basic hierarchy you people should aware, sir. Similarly, overflow error. Okay, overflow error. Next, floating point error. Okay, floating point error. Okay, like floating point error, like okay. Now these are various child classes for arithmetic error. Is it clear, right, sir? Similar to arithmetic error, there is one more child class is there. Okay, lookup error. One more child class is there, lookup error, sir. For this lookup error, okay, there are some child classes are there. Index error. Have you remembered, right? Whenever you are trying to access string out of range index error, we are going to get list elements out of range index error. Next, key error. Okay, best example, in our dictionary, if we are trying to access a data by specifying the key, if that key is not available, then key error we are going to get, sir. Okay, like this is. So similar to, so have you observed index error, key error, these two things are child.
Or you can send a message to Durgasoft online training. Okay, Durgasoft online training at gmail.com. Demos we are going to take, 4 demos will be there. Okay, 4 demos will be there. That is 9/1/2023. So 10/1/2023, 11/1/2023, and so 12/1/2023. Okay, if possible, we will take regular classes from 13th. Anyway, 14th and 15th are festival, right? We are going to get holiday.
Being a programmer, most of the times we have to concentrate or handle exception and its child classes. So any explanation is required about this one, just a basic idea. Better to draw this diagram on the paper, just try to have just least basic commonly required exception hierarchy you should aware. Clear, right? So even in the next videos also I'm going to touch this point. So which is the parent of zero division error? Immediately you have to tell arithmetic error is the parent. Sir, which is the parent of arithmetic error? Immediately you have to tell exception, sir. Which is the parent of exception? Base exception. This parent and child relationships we are going to use somewhere in the next videos to discuss some important conclusions. Remember, sir, same way index error is the child of Respond. Index error is the child of lookup error. Index error is the child of lookup error. Lookup error is the child of exception. File not found error is the child of OS error. OS error is the child of exception. Like a basic idea about these things compulsory you people should have. Any doubt about this one? Clear, right? Hi friends, in the last videos we covered very clearly about what is default exception handling and then partial exception hierarchy. Now the next concepts are customized exception handling by using try except. Sir, have you remembered? It is highly recommended to handle exceptions. What is the main objective of exception handling? Graceful termination. Okay, normal termination I want. I don't want to block any resources. I don't want to miss any resources, right? It is highly recommended to handle exceptions. So how you can handle, sir? Try except. Remember this one, try except. These are two keywords we are going to use to handle exceptions. How we can do? Have a look once, sir. Sir, I'm taking a simple example. Okay, without try except. I don't want to take, sir, try except. Then what is the flow? So with the try except, what is the difference, right? Just the basic idea sake. Here I'm taking print of statement 1. Print of statement 1. Okay, print of 10 by 0. Print of 10 by 0. Next, print of statement 3. Print of statement 3. Like this I'm taking, sir. That's all. Now I will ask Python virtual machine, can you please execute this code? Array Python virtual machine, can you please execute this code? Like I will ask. Then immediately Python virtual machine is going to tell. So it will print statement 1 properly. No problem at all. Next, while executing this one, zero division error is coming. No handling code. Then immediately the program will be stopped by raising zero division error. Are you getting? By raising zero division error. Can you please tell, is it a normal termination or abnormal termination? Yes, it is abnormal termination. The program stopped in the middle only. Sir, it is abnormal termination. Abnormal termination. So it is not a graceful termination, sir. Non-graceful termination. Non-graceful termination. Okay, just observe. So it is abnormal termination, non-graceful termination, right? So what is the reason? Why? What is the reason for that? The reason is, suppose assume that the first line open database connection. Okay, assume the first line open DB connection. Second line read data. Third line close DB connection. Close DB connection. So you open DB connection successfully. But whenever while reading, there is some error came. Immediately the program terminated here only without executing the rest of the code. Then who is going to close the database connection? No one is going to close. So our resource is going to be blocked. So which is never be recommended. Are you getting that? That's why. So this type of coding, this type of abnormal termination or non-graceful termination never recommended. Compulsory. We should handle exceptions by using what? Try except. Same code with the try except. What will happen, sir? Just have a look once, sir. So with try except I want to take. Sir, very important. Can you please tell in this program how many lines of the code is there? Respond. In this, how many lines of the code is there? 3 lines. In the which line may raise an exception? Can you please confirm? Which line may raise an exception? Yes, this line may raise an exception. Second line may raise an exception. The code which may raise an exception, that code is called risky code. Remember this one. So risky code, the code which may raise an exception, that code is called what? Risky code, right? Okay. Risky code we have to take inside the try block. Remember, so within the try which code we have to take? The code which may raise an exception, that code is called risky code. Risky sir, but not whiskey. Whiskey is also risky only. Okay, so try which code we have to take, sir? Risky code we have to take. Risky code. Next, while executing this risky code, if an exception rises, you should have handling code, right? Where we have to take handling code? Inside except block. Inside except block, we have to take handling code. Have you observed? Inside except block, we require to take what? Handling code. Sir, have you remembered what is the meaning of exception handling? Hey, I covered already in the last videos very clearly. What is the meaning of exception handling? Exception handling means defining alternative way. Are you getting? Defining alternative way. So this is the main code. In the main code, if there is a problem, then immediately this alternative code should execute, sir. Are you getting? This is the syntax, very important for the entire room. Array, within the try block, which code we have to take? What is the purpose of try block? What is the purpose of except block? In the try block, we have to take which code? Risky code. In the except block, we have to take which code, sir? Handling code, which is nothing but alternative code. When except block will be executed, if there is a problem inside a try block, if there is an exception got raised inside try block, immediately the corresponding except block will be executed. Once exception handle, now rest of the program will be continued normally, which is a normal termination instead of abnormal termination. Okay, have a look once, sir. So first statement is not risky code. Print of statement 1 is not risky code. Okay, now I'm taking print statement 1 normally. Okay, print of statement 1. Next, print of 10 by 0. Sir, maybe a chance of rising arithmetic error because you are doing some arithmetic operation. Risky code. Okay, risky code we have to take inside a try block. Okay, try print 10 by 0 I'm taking because it is the risky code which may raise an exception. So in this case, which exception will be raised? Respond. In this case, which exception there is a possibility to rise? Zero division error. If zero division error is coming, how you want to handle? Okay, except which error there is a possibility? Zero division error. Zero division error like this I'm taking. So except zero division error. If zero division error is coming, then don't perform this arithmetic operation. Can you please perform this arithmetic operation? 10 by 2 like this. Can you please do that? 10 by 2 like. Don't feel, sir, this is the alternative code. Just for flow purpose I'm telling. If a London file is not available, use a local file. If there is a problem with Oracle database, then use MySQL database. So if you are not getting bus ticket, better to get a train ticket. Are you getting something like alternative code? Next, so try except completed. Now, what is the remaining code? So risky code we handle, sir. What is the remaining statement 3? Now, print statement 3. Print statement 3. Can you please confirm what is the output we are going to get in this case? Yes, friends, if I execute this code, what is the output, sir? Statement 1 will be executed. Statement 1 will be executed. And then while executing this one, there is zero division error. Immediately the control will comes to corresponding handling except block. Now except block is going to print 10 by 2. 10 by 2 means 5.0. And after completing, rest of the code will be executed normally. Statement 3 will be executed. Okay, now my question is it a normal termination or abnormal termination? This is the normal termination because all the statements are executed. Normal termination, it is the graceful termination. Normal termination or graceful termination, which is highly recommended, friends. Regarding this normal or graceful termination is highly recommended. Is it clear for all of it? So how you can handle exceptions in our own way by using try except. Try means what? Try block, risky code we have to take. Inside except block we have to take handling code. Let me execute this one. First I will show abnormal termination and then I will go for normal termination. Son, observe carefully. Here the same example, whatever I explain on the board. Here see this one, print of statement 1, print of statement 1, print of 10 by 0 I'm taking. Next print of statement 3, print of statement 3 like this I'm taking, sir. That's all. So print of statement 1 10 by 0, statement 3 like this I'm taking. Now observe carefully. First one will execute normally, but whenever we are executing this one, 0 division error is coming. Now there is no corresponding handling code. The program will be terminated abnormally without executing rest of the code. Now observe this one. If I execute this one, so statement 1 executed and then abnormal termination by printing 0 division error. Okay, like that's also. Is it normal or abnormal termination? Abnormal termination, never recommended, right? Okay, so I want to convert this abnormal termination to normal termination by handling exception. Which keywords we require to use? Try except. Try keyword meant for, try block meant for risky code place. Okay, try meant for placing risky code. Sir, except block meant for, okay, handling code. The people who are coming from Java background, try is the same, but except in Java is the catch block. In Java, catch block. In Python, except block, both are same. Remember. Now have a look once. So risky code is, sir, which is the risky code? This is the risky code. We have to take this risky code inside a try block. Okay. Now try block I'm taking. Okay, next handling code except 0 division error, except 0 division error. If 0 division error is coming, print 10 by 2 like this I'm taking, sir. That's all. So risky code I separated into try block and the corresponding handling code I kept inside except block. Okay, that's all. Now let me execute this code. If I execute this one, statement 1 will be printed. So here 0 division error is coming. Immediately the control will comes to this one. Next here 5.0 is going to print and then statement 3 will be printed. Now have a look once, sir. Statement 1 5.0 and then statement 3. This is the output by default we are going to get, which is normal termination. All the things are very clear, right? Abnormal termination, normal termination. That is the power of try except blocks. Okay. So up to this whatever we covered, just have a look once, sir. Here just I showed already customize the exception by using try except. It is highly recommended to handle exceptions. The main objective of exception handling, graceful termination. Next, the code which may raise an exception is called a risky code. Remember this one, sir. The code which may raise an exception is called risky code, and we have to take that risky code inside a try block. Next, the corresponding handling code we have to take inside except block. So within the try block, if an exception rises, immediately except block is going to execute, alternative code is going to execute, rest of the program will be continued normally. Okay, have a look once about this one, sir. Here customize the exception handling by using try except. In the try risky code we have to take inside except handling code or alternative code. So that's also the first two keywords how you can use for exception handling. Everyone got basic idea about try and except keywords? Any doubt about this? Sir, in the last video we covered try except block basic idea. Now I want to dig a control flow inside a try except. Observe carefully, sir. Control flow in try except blocks. How the flow will be there? If an exception rises, what will happen? If an exception not rises, what will happen? Compulsory you should aware. Okay, here very simple terminology, sir. Here I am taking try, okay, statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. Try statement 1, 2, 3. Next, except block I'm taking some x means either zero division error or value error, name of the exception. Now statement 4. Okay, next after the statement 5. Now observe carefully. Statement 5 is outside of except block. Okay, 1, 2, 3 are within the try block. Statement 4 inside except block. Statement 5 outside of except block. Okay, like now multiple cases I have to discuss so that you will get much clarity about the flow. Very important, sir. Okay, listen carefully. Sir, I want to take case 1. Case 1. If there is no exception, can you please tell what is the flow? Which statements will be executed? Please confirm. If there is no exception, except a block won't be executed, because when the except block will execute, if there is an exception raised, but if there is no exception, except block won't be raised, then automatically 1, 2, 3 and then 5. 1, 2, 3 and then 5, normal termination. Remember this. So 1, 2, 3, 5, normal termination. Look at this. Because there is no exception, simple, sir. 1, 2, 3 will be executed and then 5 will be executed, normal termination. Okay, well. Now, second case. So up to this, not required to keep any explanation. There is no exception, except block won't be executed. Okay, well. Next, if an exception raised, yet statement 2, sir. Listen very carefully. An exception raised, yet a statement 2. While executing statement 2, an exception raised, and corresponding except block matched. And corresponding except block matched. Corresponding except block matched means, sir, here zero division error. Oh, this except block for the same zero division error only. Now, what is the flow, sir? Please confirm. An exception raised, but the corresponding except block is there. Sir, zero division error came, except zero division error block is there. Then what is the flow? Please confirm very carefully. Understand? Compulsory you have to trace. Which statements are going to execute, sir? 1, and then 2 the problem is coming. Immediately the control will comes to except block. Now statement 4 will be executed, and after statement 4 execution, now my doubt is statement 3 will be executed or not. Getting my point? So statement 3 will be executed or not. After executing statement 4, either statement 3 will be executed or not. Okay? Remember this. Within the try, we have main flow. Sir, try block means main flow. Inside except block, we have alternative flow. Alternative flow. In the main flow, if there is a problem, immediately alternative flow got executed. Once alternative flow executed, then the control won't go back again to execute main flow. Suppose, best example, try for bus tickets. If the bus ticket is not available, try for train ticket. Okay? You got a train ticket. After getting train ticket, no one is going to try for bus ticket again. Are you getting right? So means that within the try block, if anywhere an exception got raised, so now immediately the control will comes to except block. Rest of the try block won't be executed. Remember this one, sir. That's why what is the flow? 1 will be executed. While executing 2, the problem is coming. Immediately control will comes to except block. 4 will be executed. 1, 4. And then remaining code will be continued normally. 1, 4, 5 normal termination. 1, 4, 5 normal termination, sir. So there is important conclusion compulsory you should aware. Within the try block, anywhere an exception raised, anywhere an exception raised, so rest of the try block won't be executed even though you handled that exception. Even we handle, rest of the try block won't be executed. That's why, so inside the try block you have to take only risky code, but not normal code, because there is no guarantee for execution of every statement in the try block. That's why only risky code we have to take inside try block. The length of the try block should be as less as possible. Remember, sir, but most of the people, what they are going to do is, sir, observe, try block they will take statement 1, okay, dot, statement 10,000 they are going to define, statement 10,000 they are going to take, okay. Now here they are going to define except block, sir. So 10,000 statements are there inside try block. If any person who wrote this type of coding, if he is standing in front of me, I will give left and right. The problem here is, there is a problem at statement 1 only. There is a problem at statement 1. Immediately the control will come to except block. Then without executing 9,999 lines of the code, how I expect proper behavior? That's why length of the try block should be as less as possible. Inside the try block, we have to take only risky code but not normal code. Is it clear for all of it? Even in the last example also, have you remembered, right? Try of statement 1, statement 10 by 0, statement 3. I took statement 10 by 0 only in the try block, but not total 3 statements. In the last example, if you remember, same here, see this one, sir. So it's clear. If an exception raised at a statement 2 and the corresponding except block matched, sir, 1 executed, while executing 2 the problem came, immediately control came to except block, and after completing except block, yes, statement 5 will be executed. 1, 4, 5 normal termination. Any doubt about this one? Okay, well. Now next case. Listen very carefully. If an exception raised at statement 2. If an exception raised at statement 2, but corresponding except block not matched. Okay, but corresponding except block not matched. Corresponding except block not matched. What is the flow now? So not matched means, here 0 division error is coming, but this except block for value error, or heart problem is coming, but available doctor is eye specialist is there. Are you getting? So here riser exception, but available except block, there is no match at all. Now this except block is not the correct code. Sir, what will happen? So here an exception riser, immediately Python virtual machine will check either any handling code is not available because it is not corresponding except block, abnormal termination. That's why 1 followed by abnormal termination. Remember this one, 1 followed by abnormal termination. Okay, this is the flow. Now the next one, very very important, sir. Take a bit special care. Now the fourth case. If an exception raised at a statement 4, if exception raised at a statement 4, can you please tell what will happen? Is it normal termination or abnormal termination? Please confirm. If an exception raised at statement 4, is it a normal termination or abnormal termination? Very important, friends. Please confirm. Is it normal or abnormal termination? Yes? If an exception raised at statement 4, is it normal or abnormal? Sir, remember, very important conclusion. First doubt you may get, sir, exception should be raised only in the try block, but not inside except block. No. Wherever Python code is there may be a chance of raising an exception. So assume I'm checking for bus ticket. If the bus ticket not available, then I will try for train ticket. Is there any guarantee train ticket is compulsory available? No. So maybe a chance of exception inside except block also. Okay, don't feel exceptions will be raised only in the try block. Maybe a chance of rising inside except block, inside finally block also. Sir, what is finally? That part we are going to discuss. Don't worry, sir. Okay. So except inside try, inside except, inside finally, everywhere there is a possibility of raising an exception. Okay. First conclusion. Next, if an exception raised inside except block, what will happen? Sir, very simple. Listen carefully. If there is a problem at a try, statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. There are 3 statements are there inside try block. If an exception raised in the try block, if an exception raised in the try block, compulsory. Okay? Who is the responsible to handle? Except block is the responsible. Except block acts as a guard, security person to the try statements. Remember this one. So somewhere outside of try, here an exception raised. Outside of try, here an exception raised. Can I ask this except block to handle that? No chance at all. Boss, myself is the responsible only for these 3 statements only. Suppose for your house, you arranged one security person. One security person. If anything goes wrong in your house, this security person is the responsible. Suppose in the neighbor's house, okay, robbery happened. Robbery happened in the neighbor's house. Can I ask the security person why robbery happened in the neighbor's house? No chance at all, because this person is the responsible only for this house, not for this house. Are you getting? Same way, this except block is the responsible only for try block statements, not outside the statements. Are you getting? That's why if any statement raising an exception which is not inside the try block, simply abnormal termination. Remember this one, sir. So here statement 4, not in try block. It is inside except block, not in try block. Always abnormal termination because it's not there inside try. No except block. No except block means abnormal termination. Next, if an exception raised at a statement 5. If an exception raised at statement 5, again statement 5 is within the try block or outside of try block? I respond, within the try block or outside of try block? Outside of try block. Correct, right? So if an exception raised, so outside of try block, it is always abnormal termination. So if an exception raised at statement 4 or statement 5, it is always abnormal termination. That's all. So with pleasant mind, trace each and everything so that you will get much clarity. Sir, next level we have to talk about control flow in try except finally. Control flow in nested try except finally blocks. There if you want to understand, compulsory, here much clarity must be required because the same thing we are going to rediscuss again and again. So here better to get much clarity. Are you in the position to understand, right? Next, in addition to this, there are 3 important conclusions I covered. Have you remembered or not? I don't know. Within the try block, if anywhere an exception raised, rest of the try block won't be executed even though you handled that exception. That's why length of the try block should be as less as possible. We have to take only risky code inside a try block. Okay, well. Next, sir, there is a possibility of raising an exception inside try block, inside except block, inside finally block also. Everywhere there is a possibility of raising an exception. Next, so here do you know if any statement outside of try block raising an exception, it is always abnormal termination. Remember that, okay? Have a look once. I hope these 3 statements I documented for your reference. Observe carefully, sir. Within the try block, if anywhere an exception raised, then rest of the try block won't be executed even though we handled that exception. Hence, inside try block, we have to take only risky code and the length of the try block should be as less as possible. Next, in addition to try block, there may be a chance of raising exceptions inside except and finally blocks also. Don't feel exception should be raised only in the try block. No. Next, if any statement which is not part of try block, outside of try block, raising an exception, then it is always abnormal termination. Okay, well, then immediately you may ask, sir, inside except block, if an exception raised, you are telling abnormal termination. Can I take this statement 4 again try except again try except, so try except inside except block, possible or not? Are possible? That part don't worry, we will discuss in detail next level. As of now it is not part of try statement, abnormal termination. So any doubt about this control flow in try except the blocks? Clear, right? Hi friends, in the last videos we covered about try block, except block, what is the flow, control flow in try except, up to that we covered, sir. Now the next concept, let me talk. Okay, how to print exception information. I want to print exception information, what is the way? Sir, very simple terminology, observe carefully. Here I have try block is there, try is there. Now I'm taking print of 10 by 0. I'm sure I will get 0 division error. Okay, because my intention is I want to print its exception information, right? Okay. Now here I'm taking except a block 0 division error, 0 division error, like this we took, sir. Now we wrote the handling code inside except a block. Suppose my requirement is I want to print exception information inside except a block. Okay, like name of the exception, description of the exception, type of the exception, like I want to print, sir. What is the way? Very simple. Here we require to use except 0 division error. Don't keep immediately colon. Okay, as message, like this we have to take, sir. Yes, message. Okay, like we have to take. So means hold 0 division error object, okay, with MSG reference variable. Okay, so here object got created or not? Exception object got created. For this MSG is the reference variable. Okay, like, but here one important point you should aware. So yas is a Python keyword. Remember this one. You can't change this one. Yas compulsory. But instead of MSG, you can take anything, no problem at all. Yas X, yas exception, yas E, like any name, because it's a simply name of the reference variable, right? So now inside except block I'm taking print the type of exception. Print the type of exception, like I want to take. So what is the type of exception? Very simple, type of message, like this we have to take. So the type of exception is type of message, like now it will tell class 0 division error type, like you are going to get, sir. So sir, let me execute up to this. You may get some basic idea, and then I will go further. Have a look once, sir. Here I'm taking a simple example, a simple example, sir. This is test I'm taking. Here just try I'm trying to take within the try block, within the try block, print 10 by 0, print 10 by 0, except 0 division, except 0 division error as message. Okay, sir, here you can take anything, no problem at all. As X you can take, or as E you can take, or exception we can take, anything you can take, no problem at all. But as message, general my convention I'm using, sir. Now print exception type, print of exception type. So what I have to take, sir? Type of message. Okay, like this I'm taking, sir. Sir, let me execute this code. Have a look once. What is the answer? By default we will get exception type is class 0 division error. Okay, class 0 division error, like this we are going to get. Yes, this is the way how to print exception type of the exception. But now observe the same thing, there is another way is also there to print, sir. What is that way? Is print okay, the type of exception, print the type of exception. Exception is there is another way. Array, it is MSG. It is the reference variable to exception object. What is the corresponding class name? What is the corresponding class name? I want to print very simple MSG dot underscore class underscore class underscore. Have you observed? MSG dot underscore class underscore we have to take. Okay, so this one itself a to print class name again. So to print type only again the same answer we are going to get. Just have a look once, sir. I'm taking so exception type MSG dot underscore class underscore. Now the corresponding class object I'm trying to print. If I'm trying to print corresponding class object, what the answer we are going to get? Yes, same answer we are going to get, friends. Okay, so this is the class zero division error. It is going to print class object. Okay, class zero division error, like this we are going to get, sir. Okay, now my requirement, sir, class zero division error I don't want, a simply class name I want, exception class name I want. What is the way, sir? Very, very simple. Observe carefully, right here. Print so the exception class name, like this I'm taking, sir. Exception class name, what is the way is MSG dot underscore class underscore. It is going to return class object. Now what is the name of this class? Dot underscore name underscore we have to take. Observe very carefully, sir. This syntax is very important. Message MSG dot underscore class underscore dot underscore name underscore. Sir, exception object, the corresponding class object, and the name of that class, like observe the MSG is exception reference to exception object. What is the corresponding class object? Now what is the name of that class? Okay, just simply name of that class is zero division error, like we are going to get, sir. Okay, have a look once about carefully. So now I'm taking print sir the exception class name. Okay, exception class name, sir. Observe very carefully. MSG dot underscore class underscore dot underscore name underscore. Have you observed, right? This syntax is very, very important for you people, right? So it is a reference to exception object. Now underscore class is going to return underscore class is going to return a reference to class object. Next underscore name returns name of that class, name of that exception. What is the answer we will get, sir? Now have a look once. Exception class name zero division error. Are you in the position to understand, right? What is the exception class name? Zero division error, like this, right? Okay, well, now I am in the position to print type of exception and the name of the exception class. Sir, description I want, description of exception I want, sir. Then very simple, print the description I want. Observe very carefully. The description I want, description of exception. Very simple, just print message directly. Okay, now you are going to get what is the description, sir? Division by 0. Are you in the position to understand, friends? Now take very special care how to print exception information. That's all. This is the code you should aware. So what is the way how to print the type? There are two ways are there. To print a class name, this is the way. Next, to print description, this is the way. Let me execute this code also. Here observe a bit very, very carefully about this one, sir. Print so the description of exception. Okay, description of exception. Description of exception. Very simple. MSG. That's it. Okay. So now what is the answer by default we are going to get? Yes, observe that description of exception division by 0. So is it clear for all of you, right? So how to print exception information? This is the way. But one important point you should aware. As it is the keyword, compulsory you should use as only. Next, instead of MSG, MSG is the reference variable to exception object. You can use any name, there is no problem at all. Don't feel compulsory we should use okay, MSG only. Sir, I want to replace MSG with E. Is it acceptable or not? Observe carefully. Sir, just let me replace MSG with E, sir. What is the type of E? What is the E dot class name? Next E dot, next and after that E, like this I'm taking, sir. 100% pakka, this one is acceptable. MSG I replaced with E. Yes, observe that. The same answer by default we are going to get. Just it is the name of the variable. Any name you can use, no problem at all. So clear, not required to keep any explanation about how to print exception information to the console. Let me go for one more example so that you will get much clarity, right? Sir, just observe a bit very carefully. Here I am taking try block. Okay, x is equal to int of input of enter first number. Enter first number, like this I'm taking. Of course, this example we covered multiple times even in the last session also. Sir, int of input of enter second number. Enter second number, like this I'm taking, sir. Sir, now what I have to take? Print the result x by y. I'm taking. Print the result is x by y. Now except here take very special care about this terminology, right? Sir, in this code, which type of errors are possible? Can you please spell out? Which type of errors are possible? Either zero division error is possible or value error is possible. Regarding zero division error is possible or value error is possible, right? Except, so here I am taking, sir, base exception, like this I am taking, sir. Base exception as MSG. So if I can take a parent, so this person can handle either base exception or its child classes. Oh, means so both the things this except block is going to handle, except base exception as message. Okay, like now I'm trying to take here print the type of exception. Print the type of exception is type of message, like this I'm taking, sir. Type of exception, type of message. Next, print again I'm trying to take the type of exception. So to print type of exception, there is another way is there. Can you please spell out what is the other way, sir? MSG dot underscore class underscore. Okay, like I'm trying to take, sir. MSG dot underscore class underscore like. Sir, now print off. Sir, now the name of the exception. Can you please confirm? What is the way? Just now we covered the name of exception. What is the name of exception, sir? Yeah, can you please guide? What is the name of the exception? Very simple. Yeah, here MSG dot underscore dot underscore name. Okay, like, sir, now print the description. Print the description. Okay, like I'm taking. So what is the description, sir? MSG. That's all you have to take. So now take very special care. If a zero division error is coming, now this it is going to print information about zero division error. If a value error is coming, this one is going to print value error information. Is it clear for all of you, right? Okay, let me execute this code. Sir, here one point you should aware. If you write except base exception, if you are taking parent exception, it can handle parent and it's a child classes also. It can handle base exception and it's a child classes also, no problem at all. Are you in the position to understand, right? Now have a look once, sir. Sir, here the same example, but only difference is instead of MSG I'm using E, because acceptable, no issue at all. Now have a look once, sir. Here just observe carefully. Enter first number 10, enter second number 2. Sir, the result 5.0, no exception. Enter first number 10, enter second number 0. Now observe. Yes, perfectly it is going to tell what is the exception type. Sir, what is the class name? 0 division error. What is the description? Division by 0. Sir, now let me print here 10, but second one I'm taking 2, sir. Value error we are going to get. Now observe carefully. Exception type, okay, value error, type value error, class name value error, description of the exception, invalid literal with the base 10 2. This is the description of the exception, right? So everyone in the position to understand how to print exception information. If you want to print exception class name, if you want to print description, if you want to print the type, so what is the way? Clear? Any explanation is required? That's all. Sir, in the last video we covered how to print exception information to the console. Now the next one, sir, try with the multiple except blocks. Very important concept, sir. Sir, best example, if you are going to ask, sir, just usually in the classroom, sir, what is your name? Observe the first question they are asking, sir, what is your name, like this, right? Immediately I can tell, array, my name is Durga, like this I'm telling. Yes, acceptable. Okay, sir, what is your name? Now I'm telling my name is Durga. So based on the question, I provided corresponding answer. Now immediately students are asking, sir, what is your qualification? What's your qualification? Qualification, like they are asking. Then immediately my answer is, my name is Durga, like this I'm telling. Sir, my name is Durga, like this I'm telling. Then immediately student asked again, sir, you didn't listen my question properly. Sir, what is your qualification? Okay, like they asked. Then I told, my name is Durga. Like I told, sir, my name is Durga, like this I told. Then, okay, student may feel, sir is not interested to tell his name. Okay, like immediately is going to change the question. Sir, what is your native place? Okay, what is your native place? Like he asked, sir, like. Then immediately I told, my name is Durga, like this I told, sir. My name is Durga. Then student definitely is going to feel, arey, sir, mental or pagal ho gaya? Why he is telling the same answer for any question? Okay, like definitely student is going to get that doubt. Correct, right? Because the answer should be based on the question. Regarding if he is asking about name, we have to tell the name. If we are asking about qualification, we have to tell about qualification. If he is asking about native place, then I have to tell my native place. Are you getting? So the answer should be based on the question, not sir, for any question same answer is not acceptable. But in our academics, BTech or intermediate 10th class, any question same answer. Sir, for academics it's okay, but in programming this type of thing is not possible. Remember, that's why. So the answer is varied from question to question. The way of handling an exception is varied from, sir, exception type to exception. Suppose arithmetic 0 division error came. Array, perform these alternative arithmetic operations. Database error came. Oh, don't use Oracle, better to use MySQL. Sir, if a file not found error, okay, came, don't use remote file, better to use a local file. Sir, have you observed? The way of handling an exception is varied from exception to exception. That's why for every exception type, compulsory we have to take separate except block. Remember, for every exception type, we have to take separate except block. So try with the multiple except blocks possible recommended to user. Remember this one, sir. So because the way of handling an exception is varied from exception to exception, that's why the way of handling an exception is varied. For every exception type, separate except block we have to take. Try with the multiple except blocks is possible recommended to use. Are you in the position to understand, right? Sir, let me go for a small example so that you may get much clarity. Here, see this point very carefully, sir. Sir, I'm taking here try I'm taking. Now, do you know here just take very special care, sir. What is the syntax? Let me explain. Sir, I'm taking except sir, zero division error, except zero division error like this I'm taking, sir, except zero division error. Now perform alternative arithmetic operations, perform alternative arithmetic operations like I'm taking, sir. Next except sir, file not found error came, except file not found error came, except file not found error came. Then automatically, do you know, use local file instead of remote file like, sir, have you observed? So if it is zero division error, okay, we have some handling code. If it is the file not found error, we have the corresponding handling code, right? The way of handling an exception is varied from exception to exception. That's why, so for every exception type, separate except block we have to take. So try with the multiple except blocks is possible recommended to use. Are you in the position to understand, right? Any explanation is required? Okay, like, but here one small point you should aware. So based on raised exception, okay, some exception got raised, sir. Immediately Python virtual machine is always going to give the chance for the first one. Can you handle this exception or not? If it is matched, it will execute. If it is not matched, then it will ask a second one. So Python virtual machine is always going to give the chance from top to bottom until matched except block available. Remember this one, sir. Python virtual machine is always going to consider from top to bottom until matched except block available. Okay, remember this one, sir. So that's all. Try with multiple except blocks possible. How the order? Python virtual machine is always going to consider from top to bottom. Okay, have a look once, sir. Just a theory and then I will go for small example. Okay, try with multiple except blocks. The way of handling an exception is varied from exception to exception. Hence, for every possible exception type, we have to take separate except block. So try with multiple except blocks is possible and recommended to use. Correct? Okay. Next, here observe. What is the syntax, right? Sir, here try, okay, except zero division error, perform alternative arithmetic operations. Except a file not found error, use a local file instead of remote file. Okay, like, if try with the multiple except blocks available, then based on raised exception, the corresponding except block will be executed. Is it clear for all of you, right? Up to this, so can I go for a small executable example so that you will get much clarity? Any doubt up to this? Sir, let me go for a small executable code. Observe carefully. Here I am taking try block. X is equal to int of input of enter first number. Okay, like I'm taking, sir. Next, y is equal to int of input of enter second number. Enter first number, enter second number. Like this I'm taking. Now my target is, sir, print the result. Okay, is x by y. I'm taking, sir. Now take very special care. Here in this code, which type of exceptions are possible? One is zero division error. Second one is, so if you didn't provide int value, but you are trying to typecast to the int type, then we are going to get value error. So two possible errors are there. for every exception compulsory it's recommended to write separate except block. Okay, now I'm taking except zero division error, except zero division error I'm taking, except zero division error. Now print can't divide with zero, can't divide with zero, that's all. This is the thing I'm taking just for syntax familiarity, beyond that nothing. So except a block, zero division error, can't divide with zero. Sir, now except value error I'm taking. Now print please provide int values only, please provide int values only, like this I'm taking, please provide int values only. Now take very special care about this one, sir. So how many try blocks are there? Only one try block. But how many except blocks are there? Two except block. For every exception type, a separate except block I wrote. Yes, it is acceptable, recommended to use this type of style only. Let me execute this one. If zero division error is coming, now this except block will execute. If value error is coming, then this except block is going to execute, sir. Sir, have a look once. Here I'm taking same example. Already I took x and y, the result x by y, zero division error, can't divide with zero, value error, please provide into values only. Okay, like now, sir, here let me execute 10 to no exception, no except block will execute, simply the result 5.0, no except block will execute, sir, simply it is the 5.0. Now let me execute, enter first number 10, enter second number 0, enter second number 0, then immediately can't divide with zero. Remember this one. So which except block got executed? Yes, this except block got executed because zero division error got raised, sir. Now, sir, if we can take 10, enter second number 2. So 2 can't convert into type, value error. That's why please provide into values only. Okay, like we are getting, please provide into values only, value error, right? So based on raised exception, the corresponding except block is going to be executed. Any doubt about this one? So try with the multiple except blocks is possible or not? Yes, possible. Based on raised exception, the corresponding except block is going to be executed. Is it clear for all of you, right? Okay, well. Now, there is one small point, continuation point is there, sir. So, if try with the multiple except blocks are there, the order is important. Remember, Python virtual machine is always going to consider from top to bottom. Python virtual machine is always going to consider from top to bottom until matched except block identified. Remember, once I identified matched except block, remaining things I don't want to search. Okay, that is the rule what Python virtual machine is going to follow. Have a look once about this rule. Okay, just I will explain with an example. Don't worry at all. Observe that if try with the multiple except blocks available, then the order of these except blocks is important. Remember this one, order is important. Python virtual machine will always consider from top to bottom until matched except block identified. Is it clear, right? Sir, can you please explain with a small example like you may ask? Observe carefully, sir. Here I want to take a small example, just observe. I don't want this much code for this example. Just have a look once about this one, sir. Here I am taking, sir, see. Try I am taking print 10 by 0. Print 10 by 0. Now, except a block I am taking, except a block. Here, zero division error, like this I am taking, sir, zero division error. Sir, print zero division error. Just print zero division error, like this I am taking. Next, except arithmetic error. Except arithmetic error, like this I am taking. Except arithmetic error. Print arithmetic error. Print arithmetic error. error, like this I'm taking, sir. That's all. Sir, now take very special care about this terminology, right? Sir, here zero division error is going to come. Zero division error will come. So first Python virtual machine is always going to give the chance from top to bottom. Sir, first it will ask, oh, accept a block. Can you handle zero division error or not? Then this person is going to tell, yes man, I can handle. Oh, identified, corresponding except block identified. Now it will execute. So what is the output we are going to get, sir? Zero division error. What the output we are going to get? Zero division error. Now same program, let me change the order of except blocks. Okay, observe carefully. Try print 10 by 0, try print of 10 by 0, except, okay, well, so what I have to take, except, first let me take arithmetic error, error, let me take arithmetic error. So now, sir, print arithmetic error. The first I'm taking arithmetic error. Next, except zero division error I'm taking. Zero division error. Except zero division error I'm taking. Now print zero division error. Same example, sir. Only difference is I changed the order. Can you please tell now which one is going to execute? Sir, have you remembered exception hierarchy somewhere I covered? Zero division error. Zero division error is the child class of zero division error is the child class of arithmetic error is the child class of exception is the child class of base exception okay, like we covered this one, sir. Now so observe carefully, whenever zero division error came, immediately Python virtual machine will ask, hey, accept a block, first accept a block, can you handle zero division error or not? It will ask arithmetic error, sir. Then immediately this person is telling, hey, I can handle arithmetic error and its child classes. Arithmetic error and its child classes. Arithmetic error and its child classes means zero division error also it can handle. Boss, I can handle zero division error, no problem at all, because zero division error is my child class only. This person is going to tell. So if this person identified, what is the output we are going to get, sir? Arithmetic error. Are you getting? What is the output we are going to get? Arithmetic error in this case. So zero division error never going to get in the chance. So even it never going to get in the chance, because zero division error responsibility this person is going to handle. So there is no error at all, but it's a valid syntax, but only first one is going to be considered. Are you in the position to understand? So order matters a lot. So it is a Python virtual machine is always going to consider from top to bottom until matched except block identified. Is it clear for all of you, right? So if I can take this order, now zero division error. If I change the order, now arithmetic error we are getting. Let me execute, let me confirm. Observe carefully about this one, sir. Here I'm taking, here just my requirement is, I don't want all, print 10 by 0. Zero division error I'm taking. Just let me change this code based on our requirement. Zero division error. Sir, what is the second one, sir? Arithmetic error. Okay, arithmetic error. Okay, now sir, here arithmetic error like this I'm taking. Arithmetic error. So the first one zero division error, second one arithmetic error, right? Okay, now observe carefully, sir. In this case, which one is the matched thing? The matched thing is, so first one is the matched zero division error we will get. Okay, now have a look once. I will execute this code. Observe carefully. What the answer we are getting? Zero division error. Suppose if I change the order, sir, if I change the order, first arithmetic error, and then zero division error I'm taking. Now, sir, which one is the answer we are going to get? Arithmetic error we will get, because it is the first matched thing, sir. Now observe, arithmetic error by default we are getting. So friends, everyone in the position to understand, right? So if try with the multiple except blocks are there. Order is important. Python virtual machine is always going to consider from top to bottom until matched except block identified. Any doubt about this one? That's all, friends. Hi friends, in the last video we covered try with the multiple except blocks. Okay, so for the same try you can take multiple except blocks, possible, recommended, right? Sir, now the next possible syntax, single except block that can handle multiple different exceptions. Single except block that can handle multiple different exceptions, right? Sir, very simple. Sir, I have zero division error is there, value error is there. For both the handling code is the same. Assume that handling code is the same. If handling code is the same for both exceptions, what is the need of taking separate except blocks? You can take single except block that covers both exceptions, right? How you can do that? Very simple, sir. Listen carefully, right? Sir, here I am taking same example. Try except x is equal to int of input of enter first number. Enter first number, like I am taking, sir. Next, y is equal to int of input of enter second number. Enter second number, like this I am taking. Sir, now print of the result. Print of the result x by y, like this I am taking, sir. Okay. Sir, how many possible errors are there? Zero division error. Next and after that value error. What I want to take? For both the errors, I want to take single except block. What is the possibility? What is the syntax? Very simple, sir. Sir, here if I can take except zero division error. Except zero division error. Sir, this except block can handle only zero division error. But I want zero division error, value error. What is the way? Very simple, sir. Except, okay, bracket open. Sir, first one, zero division error. First one, zero division error, comma, value error. Comma, value error, like. So, observe the difference. Here, this except is responsible to handle zero division error only, but this except can handle either zero division error or value error both. So first exception, comma second exception, comma third exception, comma fourth exception, like any number. But make sure all these exceptions will become tuple. That's why here parentheses are mandatory. Remember. But if it's a single exception, parenthesis is not mandatory, optional. If you want, you can take parenthesis, otherwise it is ignored. But here compulsory parenthesis must be mandatory. Sir, I want to print exception information also. Then, so what we have to take? Except zero division error, except zero division error, comma, value error, okay? Yes, message, like this we have to take. Observe yes message, but make sure yes message we are taking outside of a parenthesis only. Don't take inside. By mistake, if you are taking inside, immediately error by default you are going to get. Okay, yes message, like. So either this syntax or this syntax you can use if you want to write single except block for multiple exception. Sir, when we should go for single except block for multiple exceptions? If handling code is the same for multiple exceptions, instead of taking separate except block, take a single except block that cover both exceptions, no problem at all. Are you in the position to understand, right? So just have a look once about this theory. Of course, we will continue our executable code. Here, if handling code is the same for multiple exceptions, then instead of taking different except blocks, we can take single except block that can handle all those exceptions, right? Sir, what is the syntax? Except of exception 1, exception 2, comma, dot, 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 any number you can take, colon. Next, if you want message also, yes message, like we have to take, but make sure yes message variable should be outside of parenthesis only. Next, the parentheses are mandatory under this group of exceptions internally considered as tuple. Remember this. Are you in the position to understand, right? Sir, let me continue our example, right? So here we have two possible exceptions. There is a possibility, okay, like now except bracket open, except bracket open. Sir, first one, zero division error. First one, zero division error. Second one, value error. Zero division error, value error, yes message, like this I'm taking. Now, so print exception name. Print, sir, which exception got raised? Which exception got raised? It may be zero division error or value error. That's why msg dot underscore class underscore dot underscore name underscore exception name. Next, print, okay, please provide valid input only. Please provide valid input only. Okay, like I'm taking this one, sir. That's all. Sir, now you have to familiar how you can write except a block that can cover both multiple exceptions, right? Is it clear for all of you? Sir, this type of syntax in other languages is also there, sir. In Java, multi-catch block. This is the word in Java people are going to use, but here this word you should aware. Now, have a look once, sir. Sir, let me execute this code so that you people may get much clarity about this one. Sir, observe very carefully. Very carefully. Here, this is enter first number, enter second number. Now, have a look about this new syntax, right? I hope this is the new syntax. Now, have a look. So, the raised exception, what is the name of that exception? What is the description of this exception? Please provide valid input only. Like this I took, sir. Now, observe very carefully about this exception. Here, see. Sir, enter first number 10, enter second number 2, no exception, the result 5.0. Next, enter 10, enter 0. Sir, now zero division error will come. If a zero division error came, now this except block is the responsible to handle. Now observe very carefully, sir. Here, the raised exception, zero division error, description of the exception, division by 0, please provide valid input only, like this, right? Okay, same way. Now let me execute this code, sir. Here, just let me take, sir, 10, but second number 2 I'm taking. Now raised exception, value error. So either zero division error or value error, both the things this single except block can handle. So single except block that can handle multiple exceptions. So now the terminology is clear. What is the syntax? How you can use, like, any doubt about this? Clear, right? Hi friends, in the last videos we covered, sir, what is a try except block, next a control flow in try except, next and after that try with the multiple except blocks, next a single except block that can handle multiple exceptions. Up to that we covered, right? Now the next thing what I have to discuss, default except block. Remember this one, sir. The name itself indicates default except block. Okay. So what is the purpose of default except block? Okay, very simple, sir. Default except block will be executed if there is no other except block matched. Remember something. So default except block will be executed if no other except block matched. In general, so after handling exception, if any new exception is coming, if any remaining exceptions are there, such type of exceptions we can handle by using default except block. Remember this one, sir. So when the default except block will be executed, if no except block matched, then only default except block will be executed. Generally, default except block contains just printing exception information to the console, such type of general information. It doesn't contain any specific handling code. Remember for this one, sir. Sir, what is the syntax for default except block? Sir, observe a bit very carefully about this one. If I can take except zero division error, I'm taking, sir. Except zero division error like this I'm taking. So except zero division error, do you know this except block meant for zero division error? Sir, now my requirement, so except that's all. I'm not mentioning anything. I'm not going to mention anything, sir, except immediately colon. This is called default except block. Sir, it can handle any type of exception, no problem at all. Any type of exception it can handle. So if no other except block matched, then only default except block will be executed. Is it clear for all of right? Sir, just observe carefully about this one. We can use the default except block to handle any type of exceptions. Next, in default except block, generally we can print exception information to the console. Just a print exception information to the console. Such a type of thing only we can take inside except block. Sir, have you observed, right? What is the syntax? Except colon statements like this, right? Okay. So everyone in the position to understand what is the meaning of default except block. Let me explain with a small example. Then you may get much clarity. Observe carefully, right? Here I'm taking, try our same example, sir. Try, okay, x is equal to int input enter first number, number like this I'm taking, sir. Enter first number. Y is equal to int input enter second number like this I'm taking, sir. Okay, two values are there. Print the result x by y. Okay, the result x by y like I'm taking, sir. Sir, now I'm taking except zero division error like this I'm taking. Except zero division error. Okay, like, sir, here I'm taking print zero division error, division by zero. Zero division error divide by zero like this I'm taking, sir. That's all. Divide by zero like. Sir, now except okay, like I'm taking except. Sir, now print default except block. Print of default except block. Default except block like provide int values only. Int values like this I took, sir. Yes, perfect. Sir, now here how many except blocks are there? Two except blocks. One is zero division error. Second one is what? Default except block, sir. Now, when this default except block will execute, if zero division error occurs, now this except block is the responsible. Other than zero division error, if any error is coming, now this except block is going to execute, sir. Observe this very carefully. For zero division error, this except block. Other than zero division error, if any other exception came, then automatically this except block is the responsible, okay, to execute. Default except block can handle any type of exception. If zero division error, this person is going to take care because it is available. Okay, so if for not zero division error, any other error, yes, this person is the responsible. Suppose if I am not taking this one, then this person can handle zero division error also. Okay, that thing, even that facility is also there, sir. Okay, have a look once. Let me execute this code so that you may get much clarity about this terminology, right? Of course, let me cross check. Maybe this code is available with me. Not required, sir. This code may be available here. Just observe a bit very carefully about this one. That's all, sir. Sir, here take a bit special care. Try x is equal to input of enter first number. X is equal to int of input of enter second number. Okay, except zero division error. Yes, print zero division error can't divide with 0. Sir, next accept default like. Sir, now from this example, you people should require to familiar with this. This is called what? Default accept block. If zero division error is coming, this person is going to take care. Any other thing is coming, then automatically this default accept block is going to execute, sir. Sir, now let me execute this code. Have a look once, sir. Enter first number 10, enter second number 2, no exception. 5.0 we are getting perfectly. Sir, now I am taking, enter first number 10, enter second number 0. Now observe, zero division error can't divide with 0. Have you observed? First accept block got executed. Okay, well, sir, now enter first number 10, enter second number 2, sir. Sir, now value error will come. For value error, default accept block is going to execute. Now observe this one, default accept block, please provide valid input only. So for zero division error, first one is going to execute. For remaining, second one is going to execute, sir. Suppose if I remove this one, now this default accept block can handle zero division error also. Have a look once. Let me remove first accept block. Let me remove this first accept block. If I remove this one, okay, now for all exceptions, this default accept block will execute, sir. Now observe, 10, enter first number 10, enter second number 0, then what the answer we are getting? Default accept block, please provide valid input only. Okay, like so even for zero division error also same default accept block executed. Sir, enter first number 10, enter second number 2. Now observe that for this also default accept block executed. So default accept block can handle any type of exception, no problem at all. Generally we are going to print just exception information to the console because it is no way related to particular exception. So this is the generic handling code for any type of exception. Are you in the position to understand? Any doubt about this one? Yes, friends, clear? Now I have one small doubt, sir. Sir, in our example, how many accept blocks are there? I respond. How many accept blocks are there? 2 accept blocks. What the first one? Except zero division error. Second one, default accept block. Where I'm taking this default accept block? Respond. Where I'm taking this default accept block at last. Okay, like sir, can I take this default accept block, sir, here? Yeah, the first one. Yes, sir, respond. Is it possible or not? Okay, I want to take default accept block at the beginning. Okay, and then I'm taking zero division error at the second. Can you please tell, is it valid or not? Except zero division error, like I'm taking, sir, print zero division error, like this I'm taking. Zero division error, like I'm taking. Can you please confirm, is this one, is it valid or not? Respond. Very important point. So if multiple accept blocks are there, Python virtual machine is always going to give the chance from top to bottom. Correct, right? So if this person can handle any type of exception, then the remaining accept blocks never going to get in the chance. Are you getting? So this person more specific to handle zero division error. Next person is the more specific to handle file not found error. So these accept blocks never going to get in the chance, which may be the problem. That's why default accept block must be last accept block. Remember this one, sir. Default accept block must be last accept block. If you change order, if you are taking anywhere else, immediately we are going to get syntax error. Very, very important, sir. If for default accept block is there, compulsory it must be last accept block. Okay, have a look once here in our example. So two things are there. First I'm taking normal accept block. Second one, default accept block. Default accept block I took at the last, no problem at all. So that's why it is valid, sir. That's why it is the valid, no problem. It's executing, sir. Now what I'm taking, sir, let me remove default accept block and place the first one. the first one. Observe that. So first which accept block? Default accept block. and then accept zero division error. If I can ask Python virtual machine, can you please execute this one? Immediately Python virtual machine will give left and right. Okay, what the reason you are taking? So default except block at the first, then the remaining except blocks never going to get in the chance. That's why have a look once here. Just here the point is, observe carefully, right? Sir, can you please observe? Syntax error. Syntax error. Default except block must be last one. Default except block must be last. So clear it is going to tell, boss, default except block you have to take yet last. Are you in the position to understand, right? But this rule is applicable only for default except block, not for remaining except blocks. So suppose here I have except zero division error, I have except value error is there, sir. I have except value error is there. So value error, zero division error, you can take in any order, no problem. But compulsory default except block should be last except block if it is there. Are you getting the point? So for normal except block order, I mean in any order you can take, no problem at all. But Python virtual machine is always going to give from top to bottom. But a default except block must be last except block. Okay. So now observe, if I can take this one, if I can take this, sir, happily. So if I can take this one, now it definitely it is, that's all. Except the default except block, it will become valid, no problem at all. Now my program execution started. Happily it's going to run, sir. Suppose I have, sir, another except block is there. Except value error, like this I'm taking, sir. Except value error, like I'm taking, sir. Now take very special care about this one, except value error, like so. Now these two things you can take in any order, acceptable. Yes friends, I'm not seeing any problem at all. Yes, valid. Suppose if I can take this one, yeah, the first one, this one at the first, yes, no issue at all. Only rule, default except block should be last. This one is also perfectly valid. We are not going to get any syntax error. Are you getting the point, right? So what is a default except block? So what is the syntax? Next this point, can you please observe? If a default except block is defined, then compulsory it must be last except block, otherwise we will get syntax error. Clear, right? Next this restriction is applicable only for default except block, but not for normal except blocks. That is, normal except blocks can be in any order, no problem. Okay, you can take in any order, but Python virtual machine is always going to give the precedence from top to bottom. Is it clear for all of it? What is the default except block? Sir, up to this we covered various types of except blocks. Except block that can handle one exception, except block, okay, that can handle multiple exceptions. Next default except block, like we covered multiple types of except blocks, right? Now let me discuss, let me summarize all these except blocks. You may get one or two new points also. Observe carefully, sir. Various possible combinations of except blocks. How you can use, what are various possible syntaxes are there for the except blocks, right? Okay. Here just observe a bit very carefully about this one. Sir, here I'm taking except. I want to write except block. Sir, to handle zero division error, except zero division error, perfectly it is a valid. Can you please tell, this except block can handle how many exceptions? Only one exception. Are you getting? If only one exception is there, okay, sir, you can take this exception within parentheses or without parentheses also. Parentheses are optional if you are writing except block for one exception. I covered already this point in the last videos, right? So now the same thing, even you can write like this also, except zero division error, except zero division error. Yes, you can take within parentheses also. It is also acceptable, right? Okay, well, sir, now the third point. Now the third point, right? Sir, observe this one. Sir, if only one exception is there, parenthesis, if you want you can take, otherwise not required. Sir, next, I want to, sir, access exception information. I want to print exception information. Then as keyword we require to use. Okay. Now except zero division error. Except zero division error. As message like I'm taking. Except zero division error as a message like I'm taking, sir. Sir, can you please tell, is it valid or not? Yes, perfectly, itself is the valid. Now except zero division error, except zero division error, okay, as a message. Remember this very carefully, sir. If you want to, sir, use as a message, compulsory it should be outside of parenthesis only. Remember this one. By mistake, if you are taking within parenthesis, immediately error you are going to get, sir. Take very special care. It should be outside of parenthesis only. Okay, like so. To handle single exception, sir, how many syntaxes are there? So these, next with yes, these are the things, sir. Next, sir, if I consider fifth one. Listen carefully. I want to handle multiple exceptions. I want to handle multiple exceptions, right? Now, except, sir, here, zero division error, comma, value, error, like this I'm taking, sir. Yes, it is a valid. But whenever we are handling multiple exceptions, parentheses are mandatory. Remember this one, compulsory parenthesis must be there. Okay, like, sir, now, so except zero division error, comma, value error, okay, as a message like this I'm taking. Sir, I want to access exception information also. Then automatically as message like we have to take. But take very special care. This as a message should be outside of, okay, this parenthesis. Is it clear, right? Next, sir, what the next? Sir, we covered one more. Default except block. What is the syntax for default except block? Except, okay, like this. Perfectly, these are valid combinations of, valid possibilities of except block syntax. Everyone in the position to understand, right? Okay. Sir, just I will tell some more. You have to decide whether these are valid or invalid. Observe very carefully, sir. What is the first one I'm taking? First one, except zero division, except zero division error as a message like this I'm taking, sir. Can you please confirm, is it valid or invalid? Invalid. What is the reason for that? As a message should be outside of parenthesis only. Okay, so this is invalid, right? Now I'm taking except. Sir, here just my requirement is except zero division error, except zero division error, comma, value error, except zero division error, comma, value error like this. Can you please confirm, is it valid or invalid? Invalid. What is the reason is, if you want to write except block that can handle multiple exceptions, parentheses are mandatory. That's why it is the invalid, right? Now, if I can write like this, except zero division error, except zero division error, comma, value error, except zero division error, comma, value error, okay, as a message like this I'm taking, sir. Can you please confirm, is it valid or not? this one is also invalid. But the reason for that is, as a message you are taking inside the parenthesis, within the parenthesis, compulsory as message should be outside a parenthesis. Are you in the position to understand? So what are various possible syntaxes, valid syntaxes for except block, invalid syntaxes for except block? So clear, right? Just have a look once about this. Here, see this one. What are various possible combinations of except blocks? Except zero division error. Except zero division error within what we call parenthesis, acceptable. Except zero division error as message, valid. Except zero division error as message, no problem. So if you are going to handle one exception, parentheses are optional. Next, as message compulsory should be outside